He was peaceful and well within his rights to hold his camera and record what federal agents were doing. When he was attacked, he was pepper sprayed at point blank range, and then he was tackled by 5 or 6 federal agents. They then disarmed him of something that he was carrying legally with a license, and only then, after he was disarmed with 5 or 6 people on top of him, getting, pistol whipped or hit with maybe a can of OC spray, it was only then, when he had his face towards the ground and multiple people on top of him, that he was executed. But he wasn't just executed. They kept firing after he was clearly limp. After he was clearly lifeless, they kept dumping rounds into his body as he was face down, stone cold dead. You've seen the videos. You've heard the videos. You heard how long it was between the first shot, which might have been an accidental discharge by the very person who disarmed that man, and the amount of time between the last shot. When everybody else had already cleared away, they kept shooting. The Department of Homeland Security, Stephen Miller, the White House are branding this man a terrorist. Alex Pretti was a patriot, doing his patriotic duty. He was an ICU nurse who served veterans, critically ill veterans. He was murdered by cowards who, if they had done this in a combat zone, wearing a U.S. military uniform, they'd be court-martialed and they'd spend the rest of their lives in jail. It is not enough to simply abolish ICE. We need to prosecute ICE. Every one of these masked thugs need to be prosecuted. You see, the White House, Pam Bondi, and the DOJ, they're getting cute, saying they're going to use the KKK Act to prosecute peaceful protesters. Well, you know what? The KKK Act, it includes provisions about how even if a federal agent is acting within the color of law to strip someone of their civil rights, they can be prosecuted under the KKK Act. So, you want to talk about the KKK Act? Let's talk about it, because this is what we're going to be using. This is what the next administration needs to use to prosecute not just ICE, but everyone at Department of Homeland Security and everyone at DOJ who is enabling the stripping of civil rights and the murder of Americans and immigrants. Because you know what? If you're on American soil, the American Constitution protects you. You don't have to be born here. It's called the rule of law. We are supposed to be a nation based in laws. That is what the Constitution is. Look, I understand that you might be scared, terrified, exhausted right now, and that's okay, because you're human. But let me share a hard truth with you. Things are going to get a lot worse before they get better. And the only way that they're ever going to get better is if more people step up and fight. And that doesn't necessarily mean going out and confronting ICE in the street. Doesn't necessarily mean protesting. If you have the resources to give to soup kitchens and pantries that are distributing food and necessary supplies to terrified families in Minnesota right now. If you have nothing else but the phone in your hand right now that you're using to watch this video, please engage in videos that talk about this. Just simply showing the algorithm that this is important, that people care about this, that people want justice, that is not nothing. You are participating in a real resistance. If you are planning to go out and observe ICE, I want you to do me a favor, and if you have the resources to do this, please buy yourself a body cam or a GoPro, something that you can wear so that you can keep both of your hands free as you observe them. As you've seen in a bunch of videos, when you get pepper sprayed, if you're trying to take care of your phone before they tackle you, like, you're in for some trouble. I know not everybody has the money to spend a few $100 on something like a GoPro and a chest harness to wear it on. But if you have these resources and you're going to do that, that will help you at least a little bit. If you are going to carry, never carry behind you. If you're going to carry, make sure that you are taking courses, self-defense classes that will teach you how to responsibly handle this type of equipment. And just keep in mind that these maniacs, these ICE thugs, are looking for any reason, any excuse to murder more Americans. So if you are going to be armed, please know that if they can put their hands on you at any point, for any reason, that could be a death sentence. Not one that you deserve, but one that they will try to impose on you.